Hey y'all, Rural Readiness here. So, what am I doing today? Well, packing. Yes, packing. So with everything that's going on out there in the world, since I'm by myself a lot of the time, I am concerned that I need to have a way to know what's coming at me before it gets here. I think it's very important. You've got to realize that the more this goes along, the more people are going to lose their minds. The ones that are not prepared. Those of us that have went through the sacrifices to become more prepared and able to sustain ourselves for any length of time, we're going to be targeted by those that are either too lazy to make the sacrifices, or they're unable to prepare and get together the things that they need to sustain themselves. So I spend a lot of time by myself. Everybody knows that. So I need a way to be able to know what's coming at me before it gets here. You will see in just a second that I have boxes stacked everywhere because, you know, in the process of all this craziness, we're trying to finish the loan process and get relocated to a different location. So I want to show you something that I got that I think is going to be important. And the reason for that is, if I am aware of what's coming at me before it gets here, I can take care of myself better. So I'm going to bring you over here and I'm going to show you what I got. This, I did not get this free. No. I actually paid for it because I think that it's a critical piece of security equipment. Okay? So this is what I want to talk to you about. Alright? Sequro wireless. It's a wireless video surveillance system. And this one, it comes with one camera. These are the cameras. They are pretty freaking awesome cameras. It's a Sequro Guardpro 2 surveillance system. And can I tell you how easy it is when you have someone that's not electronically inclined, but you can plug this stuff up and it works. I can't tell you enough how important it is that you can plug and play it. Okay? So I went with, these cameras operate on the 2.4 gigahertz wireless range, which in my opinion is better than the IP camera because it has better privacy protection. And with the antennas that are included on these cameras, and you hear the monitor, but anyway, they have a longer transmission range. So I'm going to show you the monitor, which I have two cameras set up. I've got one set up outside and one set up in here. The one outside is a pretty good distance from the monitor, and it's still picking it up. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that you can see this. So I've got two cameras hooked up, and got them set at HD. You can go up to full HD, but the HD is good. So it's clear, you know, the images are clear, which makes it easier for me, which the full HD takes up more memory and all that sort of stuff. So you can see, this is the one that I have set up outside. so I can keep an eye on things that are outside. The other, I've got set up inside, and that's this camera here. And you can see all the crap, boxes everywhere, right? Yeah. So I've got it set on motion detecting. I'm trying to stop that. Sorry, adjusted my display. I've got it set at the lowest sensitivity so it doesn't come on every time. But I can change my view from the 2 views to 1 view by just touching. The monitor is a touch screen. So I can change it to just look at this camera, to both cameras, and then look at just this camera. Now I've got this camera inside, but my reason for getting multiple cameras, and I actually have another camera, so it will be 3 cameras. I'm going to put this camera, there's going to be one pointed at the front of the property, and one pointed toward the front door, and then one pointed at the back door. And then I'll have another camera to put in another location. But I've got on the back, I've got a micro SD card in here that I can record on. Playback, sorry. So all these little things is me moving because it's motion activated, right? So when it detects movement, it'll start recording. And I'm just taking all this off. Me moving around the camera will set it off and make it start recording. So this is a 10-inch monitor, and it's got the micro SD. And you see camera 1, camera 2, they're both set at HD. And this signal right here is how well the signal is coming from the camera to the monitor. So they're pretty, this is an awesome system. So one of the main things that you need to be aware of, okay, if you are by yourself and you have someone come to your front door, at the same time while you're at the front door, there's going to be another perpetrator at the back door, okay? It's kind of the way they do things when they are targeting a person, like a person that's by themselves. You'll have one come to the front door while the other person goes to the back door. So that was my reason for getting this system. Besides the fact that it's so easy to plug and play. It's very easy to hook it up and make it work. You know, I'm just regular. I'm just me. So the ability to be able to just plug this stuff up, turn on the cameras, and they have really long wires that are connected to the cameras. It's a long wire. So I can put the camera where I need it to be, and then the monitor with the long range of these cameras, the monitor is able to pick up both cameras, even though they are a pretty good ways away from the monitor. Like I said, the monitor's 10-inch, so those of us that are older, we don't have to struggle so much to be able to see what's going on in the monitor. That's important to me. Being able to switch from the dual view to the single view is important to me. so that I can bring it in full screen and see what's going on. So I'm going to show you, now I showed you the daytime, it's daytime here. I'm going to show you the nighttime view and what the nighttime imaging looks like on this camera. Bear with me one second. So it's about 8 o'clock at night. This is the window in my office. And this is what the camera looks like. I think it's actually 7:51. So we're going to watch the camera and see what happens. So I'm really impressed with the night vision on these cameras. This is my Excursion, and it's parked outside, and there's a camera pointing at it. And this is the Mazda, and there's a camera pointing at it. This is the corner of Josh's camper. So, and it started recording. You see the red light come on? So I'm going to run this little test again and see. There's my perpetrator, and you see it automatically started recording. This is my son. He's my guinea pig. See if this one starts recording. There it goes. It starts recording automatically when it detects motion. Nice. So the night vision, the range is about 32 feet, and I'm impressed on the recording that starts by itself with the motion detection. It'll record for a specific amount of time, and then it'll shut off, and then you can go back. Let's see. You can go back and look at all that you recorded. This one, you can go back and watch the recording with the micro SD card in there. So I'm super impressed with that. So once you review the video, you can either keep it or you can delete it to free up space on your card. But I have it set to where once the card fills up that it overwrites but if you don't set it to overwrite, then when the card fills up, it stops recording. But the motion detection that I have set up on it at this time, the way it is now, it really does a good job. So I'm super impressed. So I'm pretty excited. I think this is a good thing. I feel much better knowing that I have this security system in my arsenal. Now, for the price of this security system, you just cannot beat it. I can't tell you how much better I feel. It's not an expensive system. There are systems out there that, oh my goodness, there's just no way. There's just no way I would be able to afford that stuff. This system is placed at a range that is reachable for the normal person. Also, I was able to accrue a 10% off discount code that I will place in the description box below if you are interested in looking at this system and adding it to your own personal safety arsenal. There is a 10% off code for Nina's followers. That's in the description box below. You can use that and it will get you 10% off the system. But for the price and the well-being, the feeling of security, during these critical times, it is very important. It stresses me out to think about all the things that are going on, all the things that could happen if you are by yourself and you don't have a sufficient security system. I think that's where a lot of people lack and they fall short. So I was able to close this gap for myself. I feel better about being by myself and being able to watch the front and at the same time watch the back. So I hope you give it a look. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that's it for me, and until next time, I'll see you later.